What's up, weirdos? There is a girl named Lila Gibney who just got exposed by 4 separate people with allegations that are like truly some of the most unhinged that I have ever covered. And they all posted them back to back to back. And what they're talking about is not like regular influencer drama. I'm talking theft, scamming, manipulation, using people, assault, peeing. There's oddly a lot of peeing. Like, so much more. We just have to get into it. First, I'm gonna take you through their 4 story times, starting with this guy, Cole. But after we learn about like their story times, I wanna show her response, because she made a horrible response. And then I wanna look at all the stuff that happened before this, because her history, it's going to blow your mind. But let's start with the first story time that sparked this whole thing. Cole Kerrigan.
Honestly, traumatizing story time on how I went to LA last weekend for a concert and stayed with the most psychotic, robotic, out of touch of reality, wannabe celebrity micro-influencer Lila Gibney.
Can you imagine being Lila Gibney, seeing this video pop up? She was just hanging out with this guy. Like, the fact that it was that recent, last weekend, everything that he's about to say, this was her, literally, like, this is when he's telling the story time about. So this is very important context in his video. I'll let him say it.
I'm now almost 15 months into my recovery and sobriety journey, but I have not flown anywhere, traveled anywhere in 5 years.
Him being sober is a very important piece of context for where this story is going to go, but it's also so wild that this is happening at like a Tate McRae concert, because it's not, you know, so he's in that state and he went to a Tate McRae concert, loved it so much, he's like, I gotta go to another one. But being in sobriety and not having even like flown in 5 years, you would really hope that the people you surround yourself with are gonna be supportive of that and caring about that. But who does he get to go with?
So Lila had hit me up and was like, oh my gosh, you can stay with me, like we should go together, it'll be so much fun. I booked my flight to leave that Wednesday. Then the day before, I found out that my grandpa had like less than a week to live from the doctor saying, and was about to go into hospice.
Yeah, that's very sad. Especially, we know how the story's gonna go. The trip like goes terribly wrong, but look, I want to really get into his story time before I show like all 3 of the other ones, but you're gonna see in all of the story times, there's a lot of like influencer culture, even in the people who are telling the story times. And when I was watching this video, I was like, I gotta show you this, because him being like, and then I found out my grandpa is in hospice with 1 week to live before the Tate McRae concert. He said this.
Obviously was like, I can't go. I canceled my flight, never lost someone so close to me, and was debating back and forth if I should still go, because I had bought in the ticket already. They all told me your grandfather would want you to go. He would want you to have fun. He's still gonna be here when you get back. Go do this for him. Live in the...
Go see Tate McRae for him. It's sad. I just know, like, if I am a grandpa and then my grandson is like, I don't know, should I be with him by his bedside as he's dying, or should I go see Tate McRae? If it's a debate, my first instinct probably wouldn't be so much more important that you see Tate McRae for a second time. I thought that was like a little bit unhinged. Like, I know you spent money on it, but being like, no, grandpa wants you to see Tate McRae. It's like, it's Tate McRae for a second time, but whatever. And in the battle of grandpa in hospice with a week left to live, or Tate McRae for a second time with a psychotic influencer, the Tate McRae concert won, and that's where he went. But then in light of him talking about how he has like his sobriety journey that he's going through right now, he talks about how Lila also opened up to him about the same thing.
But she basically, before I flew out, opened up to me about struggling with some issues that I had before. So I kind of knew what I was walking into, that I had to be tough, you know that I'm back in LA, I might be surrounded by some things, but I know that I'm strong and I'm good to go.
Just this situation, I can't understand his like thought process. Like, it's not like he's telling his story about how she's terrible, and like everything that we're about to get into is like she's horrible. I just find it so funny that there's like so many reasons to not go see Tate McRae a second time, but he loves Tate so much that he's just like, I gotta go. I didn't know Tate McRae had shooters like that, but shout out Tate McRae. Anyways, Lila goes very off the rails here, because he talks about while they're in LA, him and Lila are going around doing some things, posting Instagram stories to get free facials, stuff like that. Influencer life is insane. An Instagram story being worth like money, what are we talking about? But he says this, which is very key, and we really need to keep it in context because it comes up later.
Afterwards, we got a spray tan that I paid the spray tan lady. She did not. This information comes in handy later on in the story. And so we're getting ready, and when we're almost done ready, she starts ripping her apartment apart. And she's like, I can't find my rugs, to the point where she literally looks at me and accuses me of taking it. She's like, you know what? It was in my hand. It doesn't just disappear. I know you took it. I know you have it. I know you took it. Where is it? Give it to me. Literally zero consideration how triggering it might be hearing somebody say, you stole my shit. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it?
This is horrible. Is this worth it to see Tate McRae? I'm sorry that it's like Tate McRae's getting flack here, but this situation is so not worth a second Tate McRae show. Like, if I'm Cole in that situation and he did not take her rugs, can we say drugs on YouTube? I think we can. Yeah, of course we can. Like, being accused of somebody who's like, where's my drug? I need my vape. God, I need my vape. Where is it? I'm supposed to have a DMT in a vape. You. It's you! Give it to me, filth boy! Being on the receiving end of that and you're sitting there in sobriety like, bro, my grandpa is dying right now and I have to do this for Tate? That's horrible! If somebody stole something from me, like genuinely, I couldn't even imagine myself confronting them about it. I'd be like, do you know where this is? Even if they definitely stole, I'd be like, have you seen? And if they say no, they own it now. But screaming, acting like somebody who's in sobriety stole your stuff, which you've already opened up, you're going through a similar thing like an addiction. It's something that we will see as these stories continue. The life that we're getting kind of a peek into with Lila Gibney and like the people surrounding her is very much like a LA club but drug culture. And oh my god, it's so much better than any anti-drug PSA I've ever seen. He's in a stressful ass situation. He's freaking out, so he just has to go like this.
I was trying to ease her anxiety and I was like, fuck it, like look through my stuff, like I'll help you look for it.
But despite all this, and she never finds it, they're an hour late to the dinner that they were supposed to have, but she says, okay, you know what, whatever, let's go to dinner. And look at what she did when they first went to dinner. This is so cringe. I can't even imagine the steps that it took to get, okay, I'll just say it.
As we're pulling up to dinner, she has this photographer come take fake paparazzi photos for her for free. And then when we are going in, I'm like, oh, I'll pop in 1 or 2 with you just for the memories since I flew across the country to see you for the first time in 5 years. And she was like, no, he's gonna charge you. It'll be like $250 for that. So I was like, it's okay, girl. I'll just go get our table, make sure we still have a table.
Oh my god, paying for fake paparazzi. I know people do that. I know that's like a PR, but hey, can you come to pull up at Sugarfish Sushi and take pictures of me walking out and act like paparazzi? To hit send on that and not experience some sort of like emotional death just even typing those words out. Come take fake paparazzi pictures of me. By the way, her TikTok following is 100,000. Not to follower shame. Why would you think that even your own followers would see that and be like, oh my god, paparazzi pics, Lila's really popping. If I saw some like micro influencer with 100,000 followers that I follow post paparazzi pictures, I would be cringing so hard because there's obviously like no way it's actually real. I have to imagine every single person is aware of that. And posting those on your Insta with like Getty images like, pic snapped, they found me. It gives me the same feeling that I used to have when Sydney in preschool would tell me that she has like a pet cheetah and she runs faster than it. It's like, obviously you don't, Sydney. And now you just look like a pathological liar and I'll never trust you again and you're fake. It's embarrassing for me to even hear you lie about something so fake like that, Lila and Sydney. Also, when influencers are like giving story times, there's also like a little element of like, they are going to make themselves sound like they're the best. So when he was saying like, yeah, I just want to pop in the pictures just like for the memories. It's like, if somebody was doing that in front of me, I would want to run so far from the camera lens because of just like the secondhand cringe. But let's let him keep going. Go on, Cole.
I was at the table by myself for almost an hour. She finally comes up and she just is pissed. She's like, I don't like your fucking attitude this whole fucking day. You've been so fucking weird. You're so ungrateful. I got you a facial, a spray tan, all this shit for free, and you're so unappreciative. You are bitching and complaining just because I need to take my Fashion Nova photos. Honestly, Cole, like when we get back home, you can get the fuck out. You can pack your shit and get the fuck out. She pretty much left me at the table the whole time. She would go to the bathroom for 30 minutes and then I'd see on her story she's posting TikToks.
What? What are you guys doing in LA? What is this? You show up to a restaurant an hour late. Bro sits down. You're an hour more outside doing fake paparazzi pictures. I don't know why I said doing. So get one where I'm like pulling up and I'm like sexy. Yeah. So one like this. Okay. Now what about something like this? For an hour. How obsessed do you have to be to do that with fake paparazzi? There's something so wrong with you. Then to go inside, confront him. I bought your spray tan. You're ungrateful. He bought the spray tan. He told me earlier. I remembered. Then you want to talk about,
you're so ungrateful. You're so fucking weird. You've been bitching.
Girl, aren't I the one who's currently in sobriety and you're accusing me of taking your shit? I didn't even do it. I'm helping you look for everything. And you're like, you make us an hour late. Now you're taking paparazzi pictures. You won't even let me pop in. And I'm the one who's in the wrong. My grandpa is back home literally 5 days left of life and I'm here for Tate. God forbid I feel a little bit emotional with my grandpa back in Dallas going through horrible stuff in my life and I'm sacrificing all that to see Tate McRae for the second time. How dare you accuse me of that? The whole situation is just like an insane one to be in. But then The bathroom. Okay. Look, I understand you got to get your content. Do it on your own time. We're at dinner and we're friends. You're gonna leave me alone for an hour, and then you're gonna leave me alone even more after accusing me and yelling at me, saying pack up and get out. Go where? I'm trying to see Tate McRae. I sacrificed everything to see Tate McRae a second time. The idea that all of this is centered around a sacrifice to see Tate McRae. I'm sorry. Shout out Tate McRae. Hey, I think her music is actually pretty fire. It just doesn't seem like somebody that you would sacrifice all of this for and go through literally hell to see for a second time. Maybe I'm just sleeping on her show. Maybe she's just a better performer than I'm giving her credit for. Now, I'm just gonna play this one and keep what he says in mind because it's going to appear many times in this story, like a shocking amount of times.
Meanwhile, she literally peed in the catch booth like 3 or 4 times, and at the concert in her seats, and in multiple Ubers.
She pees a lot, and this is like a very recurring thing. Let me just go ahead and show you a couple more examples just so you have it in mind. This is her TikTok. This is her TikTok from, by the way, the same weekend that he was with her. When you can't hold your pee for more than 5 seconds. Now, at this point, I do want to say Cole's video, and this is why I've been okay going a little bit into Cole with like his stuff. I don't know if you need to be like, that feels like a little bit mean-spirited to bring that. Like that she's peeing in the booth, she's peeing in the concert, she's peeing all over herself. Because the thing is, like, yes, this can be related like to the drug stuff. Because on the one hand, because this is a criticism that a lot of people like levy towards her, there's like a shocking amount of clips of this type of thing. And I think there is a true criticism of like, if you know that this is a problem you have to deal with it, and you have to like maybe have a diaper, and like allowing it to happen does show a disrespect for the other people in your space, because like you're just allowing like other people to sit in like your dirty piss area. Like that is a genuine criticism, and she is messed up for that, and she needs to be way more considerate of her community and like the people around her. But I think that it's a little bit touchier of a subject than the people who are like shitting on her for it are like allowing. Like the way that Cole said it and other people like talk about it feels pretty mean-spirited when we know that Lila Gibney is a trans woman, and like this is her, she has had bottom surgery. Now I don't know anything, and I just did a little Google search, and even I could find out that sometimes like incontinence and like stuff like that can be like a side effect or in some way related to that. In a way, not necessarily it is because of that, like there's also the drugs and everything, and you do need to, if you have this situation, like be aware and be considerate. I do think that there's a way to talk about it that's a little bit more respectful, and I kind of don't like the way that Cole said that. So like the point itself, she needs to be more considerate, valid. Trying to like publicly humiliate somebody over something that's like clearly not a point of pride, I personally wouldn't do that, and I kind of get like the heebie-jeebies when I was watching that. But look at the next thing that Cole said.
So, and when we were getting ready for dinner, I only brought 2 pairs of shoes, so I was like, can I borrow a pair of shoes? She was like, go look in my closet. Tell me why I go in the closet and I find not 1 but 2 pairs of what I thought was lost Dior Converse shoes. And if you know me, you know I used to have like 15 pairs of those, and my Fendi sunglasses.
Okay. The cut to having them. Little flex, Fendi. You know you're flexing on us, right? It's like, you're not flexing on, you're flexing on us. By the way, why do you have 2 pairs of the exact same Dior Converse? Whatever. It's just the vibe of this culture. I don't like it, and it makes me worried. But after he found the stuff that she stole from him, look.
And she had the audacity to ask me how much I would pay her for the glasses. And when I said no, she was like, well, will you just call all the Uber Black XLs while you're here then? Like, what? Oh, and when we were at the table, while she was continuously cussing me out, she kept saying how ungrateful I am for all the free shit that she got me today, and that I should be so thankful to be around her and with her. And of course, she got so fucked up from dinner that we didn't even get to eat. She had to get literally like dragged into the Uber.
Yeah, and he is in sobriety. She's in front of him. Wine, cocktail, shots. Hey, let me steal some designer stuff from you, and then when you try to get it back, you gotta pay for it. Or if not, you gotta buy all the Uber Blacks. Uber Black? What do you think you are? By the way, you're trying to get an Uber Black. I think that's like a limo. In my mind, that's like, I don't know what anything is, but I think that's like the big fancy like car that like pulls up that like looks cool when you step out for your fake paparazzi pictures. That you also pee in. If it's happening, you just have to have some sort of diaper something. But at this point, like, there's more to go in his story, but I'm just like itching to show you how she responded because there's two big responses from her. One is a response to what Cole said, and then the next three, which I'll kind of like show all three all at the same time. She has an even bigger response because it like really blew up with that. But I gotta show you what she said to the first one because it so goes with the point that he's making right now where she's like, you're so ungrateful. You should be so grateful to be around me. Who's triggering all your issues and screaming at you and cussing you out and stealing your stuff. PSA to my baddies. This is all I'll be saying about the topic of someone who is nothing more than trash, looking for a view and to get 1 ounce of my attention because he doesn't have any friends/family in his real life doing so. Red flag, no. Oh, you are the biggest mean girl bully ever. Someone posts a story time because of how awful you are. Like, they can't go another second without like, I have to get this off my chest. This is the worst experience of my entire life. And your response is, they're nothing more than trash looking for my attention, right, baddies? Plus, he doesn't have any friends or family. He does have family. One of them just died, by the way, and he didn't even get to spend time with him because he had to see Tate McRae a second time. I don't know how that, but okay. But the red flag, no, you're so horrible if you say that. There's nothing in that message that is gonna make me side with her ever. I don't know what she was thinking with that. But she continued, and the second part is a billion times worse. I'm sorry, I do not spend a second of my peaceful day watching, listening, or responding to anyone who's completely narcissistic, a thief, or just beyond mentally unstable, broken heart. There's a reason I've been in LA 7+ years, because I have thick skin, a fat rack, an incredible family, and supportive group of the best friends ever, the best hairstylist, the best manager, and the universe will be forever on my side. To my nasty haters, I want to say there's only 2 of them. Stay miserable and jealous, baby. It's super ugly. Quick little montage just so that we know it's not just 2 people. It's apparently all of LA and the entire world who she's been scamming online. I have a big fat rack and I'm super pretty. Stay jealous, ugly. You don't have any friends or family though. Red flag, no. So is the idea that somebody's gonna read that and be like, oh my God, she's so genuine. I really love her. She's like so fucking real and sweet. She thinks that this is real and sweet. She thinks that she's being like, don't ever let someone tilt your crown. You are the devil. We are hearing somebody describe situations that they encountered you in, and it sounds like they're returning from a war where they suffered psychological torture. Red flag, no. He then goes on to talk about how, like, even though all of that happened, she's passed out at home and he's like, I guess I'm just gonna spend the night and see if everything's chill in the morning. And then it was. He talks about how she had some hairstylist come do her hair for free in exchange for some like Instagram story shout outs again, which is crazy. But also that after all of that, she asked Cole to film videos for her, like to post on TikTok, and he did.
On top of that, while we're getting ready, has the audacity to ask me to help film her transition videos for her little TikTok Tate McRae sounds because she knows I'm good at doing those. And I was still nice enough and did it for her. And then while we're still getting ready, she finishes a little bit before me and she's like, oh, I have another photographer that's going to take some pictures of me, so I'm going to go, okay? I didn't even ask, but no regard for me traveling across the country and maybe wanting a couple cute pictures or not.
It's not even that. It's not even that. First of all, asking him to film like transition TikToks for you after everything that you just said to him, Lila, what the hell is wrong with you? But where I come from a little town called Kansas City, when you like go travel across the country and you're there and you're like seeing somebody, y'all are like gonna spend time with each other, especially when one of them is experiencing sobriety and a grandpa who is in hospice dying back home. If he is making the decision to go all the way across the country to spend time with you at a Tate McRae concert rather than spending time with his family while his grandpa is literally dying, even if it's like an acquaintance, even if it's like somebody that I've met 2 times, I feel like just the gut response is, I'm really gonna be there for this person right now. Like that's a moment where you could like really truly experience a deepening of a friendship and really getting to know somebody. Or you could say, film this for me. I hate you. Film this for me. I'm going to go get my pictures taken. Come on. And then he goes on to talk about they're at the concert. I'll show you when he says she peed again because I think that, again, I think he should have said it differently. He then goes on to keep talking about how awful the experience was. It was so awful. But also this part near the end I really wanted to highlight because it just shows the type of person that she is. The type of person that I hate.
Be like, oh, did you hear Cardi B's new song? And she'd be like, yeah, I was just with her like last month in an Uber. And like, I was just with Justin Bieber last week. I was just with da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Meanwhile, we got denied at 4 after parties after the concert that she was like convinced like we were getting like right in there, Tate McRae after party.
Just a truly disgusting aura around somebody, just a horrible sounding, awful person. And I see that story time, and honestly, part of me is looking at him a little bit like, okay, that is awful. I'm so sorry that you experienced that. Probably should have stayed with your family and grandpa instead of seeing Tate McRae a second time in and during all of that. Also felt a little bit mean-spirited with the pee stuff, but then there's these other 3 stories that came out, and we just watched that one. I'm gonna give you all 3 of them kind of of like at the same time to like show you the themes of the whole thing, because it's not a Cole thing. It is not. It is definitely a Lila thing. So in this cast of characters, we've got 3 separate people: Ava Louise, Kendall, and Christian.
Lila Gibney is actually the worst human being I have ever met in my life.
Lila Gibney just really needs help.
Buckle up, I'm going to say some things I have never said before that someone should never, ever, ever do to a human being.
And the stories that these 3 people told after Cole told his story are the things that very much cemented this Lila Gibney thing as a massive cancellation level event. And the response that she had to this is unhinged. If you thought the response to Cole was unhinged, what we're gonna see with that is even worse, but let's actually see what they said, because it gets very serious.
When we would FaceTime, she would turn her phone on airplane mode and then tell every other person in the room how annoying and ugly I was. Instead of just saying, hey, I have to go, and hanging up, she would turn her phone on airplane mode, making it seem like she lost signal. And then I would call her back, and she would make fun of me for calling her back, thinking she just lost signal. And I didn't know this was happening until Cole told me. Because one time I was on FaceTime with Cole and Lila was in the room and she went and did it. And she said, I don't want to hear the fat girl speak anymore.
I don't want to hear the fat girl speak anymore. Oh my God, look at her. She's obsessed with me. Like, she's literally thinks that like she wants to call me back because she thinks I disconnected it because I made her think that it disconnected. Anybody else think she's obsessed with me? Oh my God. Am I right, baddies? Red flag, no.
If you are manipulating somebody to think that the call dropped and they respond as if the call dropped, you are not allowed to make fun of them for responding as if the call dropped. What is wrong with you? And by the way, this is the type of thing where it's like she's hanging out with Cole back then and she's treating other people like this around Cole, and it's not like a friendship ending thing. That's the thing with like these friend groups and the whole like LA scene. It's a specific like LA. I have very close friends who live in LA, and I'm probably gonna move there next year just because I want to like go to movie premieres. Personally, I just want to really badly. And I have like a new management, and it's like I have opportunities where I could go to movie premieres, and I would fucking kill to do that. I just want to be like in like the movie industry because I have plans. Anyways, there's a specific subsection in that culture that's very LA influencer, like drug type culture. And the fact that Cole has like a story about how awful Lila is, but then is also in stories where she's being awful to other people and it's just like accepted. You don't have to be friends with anybody who is a piece of fucking shit. Because for me, that's like a friendship ending thing. If I'm hanging out with a friend and they're being a horrible person to somebody else who thinks that they're their friend, not only is like, oh, because they could also be doing it to you, it's like, you shouldn't be doing that to anybody. I'm not friends with you. I don't want to be around you. I don't know, calling her like the fat girl wants to, look how ugly she is. Look at this fat girl. I'm gonna be in the room with that person being like, ha 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 ha, bro, I'm leaving. I'm calling an Uber Black, getting a paparazzi off Fiverr, and I'm getting the hell out of there. But in regards to the airplane mode method, let's pop on over to Christian's story time.
She also did the airplane mode thing with me, but she did it after telling me that she does it to other people and after bragging about how she does it to other people. She would do the airplane mode thing with me and call me desperate and names and just repeated things that people in the room would then later tell me about. And I just find that completely ridiculous that you would do something to your friend that you told you do to other people.
Yeah, very unhinged, very, very, very okay. And also, he said something else earlier in the story where a thing that Lila Gibney would do, and this comes up a lot, is she would try to use people to get to their partner. Like, look at this part.
The entire time, my boyfriend drove her from her house to my house. It was like a 30-minute drive from Hollywood to Topanga, which is where we lived. And the entire time, she was touching all over him, telling him, Christian doesn't have to know if you sleep with me. Please let me touch it. Let me see it. Let me it. Like, just like all over him in this car. Mind you, she knew he was my boyfriend, and literally the dude moved to LA for me. And Jew, also, when we got home, he told me about it. She pretended it never happened and continued to just use me and pretend that she was my friend.
So that already is so far across the line, not just like with, oh, that's your friend's person, but like to do that to somebody, putting somebody in that high pressure of a situation while they're driving and you're like touching them, being like, come on. Do you see what I mean? Like, it really has escalated, and it gets even bigger than that, because that story for Christian story time is like a foundational one. It doesn't even begin to describe how bad it gets. But I want to pop back over to Ava's story time real quick, because she talks a little bit about scamming, which is a huge thing that Lila does for her entire career.
But she did it to her fans too, and multiple other people. She also stole my credit card information one time so she could get a bunch of Uber Blacks for herself. She called me one day begging for me to get her an Uber to go get her nose job, and she said she wanted like a big Uber, so I called an Uber XL. I did not know she wanted a Suburban. And then when the van showed up to pick her up to her nose job, instead of being thankful, she texted everyone saying, "This fat broke bitch got me a fucking van. I'm fucking scared for my life."
Ha ha ha! Oh, you're so funny. Oh my god. Oh, you're such a. You're begging. You're Jason Nash on TikTok Live. Please, please, can I have an Uber? Please, please. I wanted an Uber Black XL, not an Uber XL. You broke, fat, ugly. What? You're begging for money because you want to what? Pull up to your nose job and then have a paparazzi, fake paparazzi, take pictures of you? Oh no, they only got me a minivan. Oh no, it's a Ford Explorer. Oh no, my paparazzi pictures are gonna look so lame. Anybody else think that this girl's so lame? You're begging. What are you talking about? You stole her credit card information to buy Ubers? What is it with Lila and Ubers? Get a driver's license. You gotta be an amazing friend to be like consistently asking for somebody else to buy Ubers for you. Lila genuinely thinks that the entire world revolves around her. She genuinely thinks that she's the main character of the entire universe, and she genuinely makes me want to scream and pull my hair out. Fat broke B got me a van and I'm scared for my life. You 30 minutes before, please, I can't afford an Uber. Please, please, I need it for my nose job. I'm doing a nose job that they're not actually gonna charge me for because I'm gonna post 13 Instagram stories about it. Please, 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 please. And you're sitting there actually living that life, actually being that person, and you don't feel like a disgusting little loser? How do you not feel lame as hell? Ava talks more about her scamming though.
Lila will literally claim people are transphobic as an excuse to like rob them, pour drinks on them, and harass them. But she stole this girl's $6,000 bag. One time we were at Catch LA and I was with my friend Ethan and a bunch of other beauty influencers, and Lila wanted to come because of course Lila wanted free drinks and dinner, and she knew that I was a pushover and a doormat who would just pay for it. And she showed up with a bottle in her hand, and you are not allowed to bring outside alcohol to Catch. She made a big scene at the dinner, chugged it. The waiter came up and noticed that she had the bottle, and she started screaming at the waiter because the waiter said, "Hey ma'am, you're gonna have to leave, like you cannot have this here."
If I invited a friend after they begged me to give them an invite to an event, a classy event, somewhere where like I'm supposed to be like kind of networking, kind of being like, hey, like having a good impression, and my friend who begged me to come there shows up with a bottle, drunk as hell, screaming at a waiter. Oh, and also saying other people are transphobic so that you can like scam and rob them, which is... she's genuinely a thief. Like she's a common thief. She's a petty thief. She's like Robin Hood, except instead of stealing from the rich and giving to the poor, it's stealing from her friends and stealing from them. There's no giving to anybody. Stealing from your friends and getting drunk and screaming at their waiter at an event that they invited you to. I mean, holy crap. But let's talk a little bit more about the scamming because Christian talks about that a bit.
First of all, when I am around her, she would constantly brag about all of her Depop fans she scammed, other influencers she scammed, men she scammed, people she blackmailed, celebrities that she tricked into sleeping with her, just sugar daddies, all the freaking time. All she did was talk about who she scammed and how proud she was of it. If you have been scammed by her, she's bragged about it.
What, for real?
100%. 100%.
Oh my god. I mean, we're talking about a genuine like mafioso. Throwing blackmail out there, blackmail, scamming people into sleeping with you. I think that is illegal. It's just a thing though. That's her whole thing. Oh, the world's about me. Nobody else is even real. So technically if somebody has something and I take it from them, it doesn't matter because they're an NPC. I'm a real person. They don't matter. I really do matter. I am the main character. And if somebody has something, it's like, okay, technically they have it, but I don't even think of them as a person. So if I have it, then somebody has it. You sound Looney Tunes. You sound like you got two pebbles rattling around in that skull up there. What is wrong with you? Scamming, thieving, robbing, begging, blackmailing. What do you mean blackmailing? Like I would describe Lila Gibney as disorganized crime. There's just receipts everywhere. There's just a million people begging to confess because they've all been scammed by her, so she has no circle of trust. Like, she literally has no real life friends or family. Red flag. No. Also, Ava and Christian both tell a lot of stories about how she was like very much like using them, of course, but also using them specifically to get to parties. Kind of like that last story we talked about. But her method of doing it, Ava talks about it, and I find it so interesting.
I knew Lila was talking shit about me behind my back and making fun of me, but I had such little self-worth at that time, I just let it slide. So Lila would be gassing me up and telling me I'm the best person ever when I was getting her into parties, but then we would go to the party and she would stop speaking to me. She would immediately abandon me wherever we were, no matter how drunk we were. She would film Cole and I when we were wasted and like in really bad states to post on her story to make us look bad.
Because the thing is, if you were following Lila Gibney or any of these people and you see Lila posting stories of these people in those states, you would have to think, oh my gosh, they're such close friends that they have like that level of trust where they're like doing that and they're like really like allowing each other to post like crazy stuff because they think it's funny. They must be really close. Whole time she's like, I love you so much, I love you so much, please let me in, please let me in, please let me in, I love you so much, I love you so much. Getting in, ghosting them, and then making them look bad online, and then talking shit about them behind their back and stealing from them. She truly does like have whatever like personality disorder there is. What is the one where it's like you are the only person who thinks that you like really exist and you're totally okay with like manipulating and using everybody around you to get exactly what you want because you are so ego filled? Is that narcissism? It sounds like she got it. Whatever it is that makes you turn into that type of person, like there is clearly like something going on that needs to be addressed. And it's not just the diaper. That's a little bit mean. But she should also be wearing a diaper if she's pissing all over the place with all these things. Genuinely, because if you're at a party, it's actually not cool if you know that you're gonna be pissing all over the place and other people are gonna be sitting in it and stuff. That's just wear a diaper. Stop scamming people. Stop blackmailing people. Christian also has a very similar story to this. I haven't used one clip of Kindle yet. I'll get to her in a sec.
She would constantly use me to get into parties and to get into places, and anytime anyone that had any amount of followers, even if it was just one more than me, she would abandon me at that party no matter what to go hang out with them.
It's just everybody's story adds up. Everybody has a story about her. Everything adds up. It's all awful stuff. But that part specifically pissed me off a lot, and I really wanted to talk about it because there is like, look, over the past 2 years, I've been very lucky and very grateful to be invited to a couple big events that YouTube has put on where they invite creators. There's like Made on YouTube and Creator Summit. It was really cool. I made like friends who are YouTubers who I really respect and admire. So I can tell you like from my own personal experience, being in these places, you can sniff out a clout chaser like that. The conversations people have where they try to find out who you are, what your following is, you really can quickly find out if somebody's being genuine or not. I don't want to say any of the names of like people I became friends with because that's not the point. But the point is there are people who are like have a lot of followers that it's just like a genuine like kind of like talking and like we genuinely get along. And then when somebody else is like joining the conversation and they're like a much smaller creator in like a completely different niche that is like completely unrelated and you would have nothing from it. The thing that solidified that I like the person that I'm talking to who I already like respect is the moment when that other person joins and there's nothing that can be like clout chased or gained from that relationship, but they are a nice person and they are a genuine person and you genuinely have a connection, you talk. That has really shaped my opinion of a few like creators on this platform, like some for the better, some for the worse, seeing how people move in that situation. Because the other thing I've learned is that I have met people at those things, like I really like them and we like connect, and then like 3 hours later you like get each other's Instagrams and then you find out, oh, this person's like really cool and they want to be my friend too and they're really cool. Like that makes me respect that person so much. But when the moment happens when somebody finds out that another person is that type of thing where it's like low followers or just like completely unrelated thing and then you see their interest wane in that other person, I just lost so much respect for that person because you don't know who this person is. By the way, because like fuck you for that. And I have to imagine that that's how other people who are like good people who you actually want to have connections with are also thinking in these situations. So it's like Lila Gibney going out there begging to get invited in these things. Like, do you think that her career is actually better for acting this way? I don't know why she thinks that it would be. There is actual like real life benefit, like a tangible benefit towards being a good person who's genuine, who's actually like loving and connecting to the other people around you. Because actual genuine people who could realistically, honestly help you are so turned off by that type of behavior. I just wanted to talk about that for a second because like it's just very recently that I've had like specific moments where it's like really like kind of weighed on me when I've seen people like that. But on the flip side, there's also so many people who are not like that and they're very genuine, loving and amazing creators. And there's so many people who, if you watch my videos, you probably watch, there are like amazing, genuine people in real life. I just don't want to like say specific ones and leave other ones. I don't want to get into that. But now I want to show a little bit about what Kendall said because she has another layer to this story that I think is very important to get into. And I apologize, but I got to put her on 1.5 times speed because she talks extremely slow. But she talks about hanging out with Lila Gibney and seeing a notification pop up on her phone that completely changed their entire relationship. And it goes a lot with the story that Christian told about his boyfriend.
I see on her phone a text from this man, and I'm like, how do you know him? That's so crazy. It's really crazy to me that you know him, because I've only been talking about him for, weeks and months about how I've been in love with him since I was 17 years old, and how I saved up money to buy him a $500 flight to come out to LA for a weekend to hang out with me, because we finally, things aligned, just to find out they had been talking for over 15 days on Snapchat, had a streak and everything, sending nudes behind my back, her talking to our friends about it and them not telling me.
In love with this boy for a long time. Lila found out about her through Kendall, because obviously she's talking about this boy that she's really into, and Lila steals him from her, sending nudes on Snapchat. And that extra little thing of all of their friends knew and they didn't tell Kendall. When I say this friend group, this group of people, this culture that's going on in that specific scene, this is what I'm talking about when I say LA influencers are hell. I'm not talking about Good Mythical Morning. I'm not talking about Smosh. There's good pockets everywhere, but this is the specific type of thing that I see all the time online. It's really on TikTok. It's really specifically the TikTok influencer type of people are so like this. I remember, okay, this is another, I went to an event story, but it wasn't an event. I went to somebody's birthday party. I didn't even know them. I was just dating somebody and I got invited through that. And the clicky cult, of TikTok culture, this was when I was on TikTok and I was not popping. I was not popping. But I was getting a million views here and there. I had I think it's 700,000 followers. I was decent. More than Lila Gibney. But I remember being there and everybody was filming TikToks with each other and group TikToks with everybody. And I was not asked. It was hey, can you do? And everybody individually gets asked to be in this thing. And I'm sitting there and nobody says anything to me. That is the TikToker culture. It really is. And it feels so bad to be the person who's sitting there it's awful. But then you throw this in the mix. You throw all of that plus, okay, I have this clique. I have these friends. We all talk shit behind everybody's back individually. If I'm talking with you shit about them, I'm also talking with them shit about you. The fact that it's not just shit talk. It's not just how many followers do you have? That type of stuff. It's literal real life stuff. Oh my God, I'm really in love with this person. You're vulnerable enough to open up to somebody. First of all, you should never open up to somebody who's like Lila. You shouldn't even be friends or near them ever. But if you make the mistake of opening up to a person like that, she took that vulnerability and she said, oh, you're in love with him? I'm gonna start SEXTing this boy as if it's just a game. Oh, it's just a joke. You'd have to get me fucked up if you're gonna break our sisterhood like that. I thought we had a sisterhood. By the way, Christian's story where he's talking about how she did basically the same thing to him with his boyfriend. He got married. Look at what she did to boy who's husband status now. Locked in, husband.
And when he told her that he would never sleep with her if I wasn't a part of it, she was like, oh, I would do it with him just so I could get to you. And then told me about it and bragged about it and did all of this in front of me and called herself my friend. Before we get to some of the bigger...
And just real quick, husband probably shouldn't have said, oh, yeah, I'll only do it if he's involved. That's probably not the best response to somebody saying, cheat on your husband with me. I'm not gonna cheat on my husband with you, but I mean, if he's involved, sure. That's not the move, bro. But I don't know how they get down. Everybody's got their own thing. And actually, they might have been boyfriend back then, because he says...
My then boyfriend, now husband. This is 2020.
Yeah, I think he's saying then boyfriend, so still boyfriend, whatever, same thing. Just to complete the trinity, Ava has another story that's like that. I mean, the fact that she was this guy said this because he has no friends / family, red flag, no. And then everybody else who's ever interacted with her entire life and has a billion different exact same stories. Just, oh my gosh, the response that she has to this, you're gonna be eating it up. But look at what Ava's story is.
In Miami for New Year's, and Lila did a lot of disrespectful and horrible things, such as trying to sleep with the guy that I was seeing in Miami. Right in front of my face. She literally crawled on his lap in the Uber while he was sitting next to me, and she tried to sleep with him. He wanted nothing to do with her, obviously, and he texted me after being what was that? Is that your friend? And I was just yeah, she is my friend. Sorry about that.
You just have to sit there while that's happening? Oh my God. I know people go through a lot of things and they end up putting up with friends. I've done the same thing. Whatever, who am I saying? But this stuff is so extreme and she's doing it to so many different people that it's I am very happy for these people that they're no longer in Lila's life and they're free from that. But oh my God, let this be an example for everybody out there who's in a toxic friendship. It is so much better on the other side. When you're outside of it and you're just looking back, telling stories to your friends about how awful it was, it's so much better than just putting up with it because you're well, but they're my only person. Oh my God, you will find somebody else who is so much better than somebody who is a negative for you. Having a friend who is only negative is so much worse than having no friends at all. For real. Ava has another story that's very, very upsetting, but it's very important to also see so that we have the full context of just how bad Lila is in this situation.
And I talked about how I was SA'd in college. And then I cracked a joke because Lila's not the kind of person that you can sit there and talk about trauma to. I said, well, at least I didn't have to go to class.
She then goes on to talk about how Lila was like, what'd you say? What'd you say? And put a phone in her face, trying to film her saying it again. Some very personal trauma that she just exposed in a very vulnerable, personal way.
And Lila's going, what'd you say? What was that? What was that? For the gram? Do it for the gram?
Wait, what? What did you say?
And she did that so much to the point that Ava says,
and I'm sitting there freaking out internally because I'm like, why is she filming this? What is this for? And that bitch put it on her Instagram story implying that I was lying about being SA'd. And then you know who got a hold of it? Dave Portnoy, and he used it to harass me. Never did I get an apology from Lila. I literally had to beg Lila to take that down, and I was like, why the hell would you post that?
It's so beyond messed up that it's words fail to even describe. What could go on in your mind that you think that is an okay way to treat a human being? It's just that she doesn't think that anybody else matters and that she's the only person who actually exists. That is the answer, because everything is painting that exact picture. It's not yeah, but no. She does not think that anybody else matters. Doing this after somebody says something like that and then actually posting it on Instagram, her saying uncomfortably, I told the dean that I got sexually assaulted so that I didn't have to go to class. Very uncomfortably describing the joke that she did to make light of a traumatic thing for her. Oh my God. Okay, first of all. Second of all, Dave Portnoy, I hate him so much. He's so short. By the way, how short is he? Everybody knows Joe Rogan is short as hell. He's 5'6". Dave looks like he's pushing 5'8". For reference, I'm 6'2", so Dave Portnoy, the top of Dave Portnoy would be about right here. This is where the top of Dave Portnoy is. The amount of damage that this man has done to people online, the horrible things that he says online, all the while, this is him. He's there. And that's just the tippy top of his head. If I wanted to give him a peck on the cheeks, it'd be I gotta get really down on that boy. And he is slandering so many people with shit like this.
You don't get what this girl lied about online. She lied about sexual assault to get out of she lied about essay to get out of class. Wow, everybody should hate her.
No, she's uncomfortable because Lila Gibney put a flash in her face and said, say it again. What was that? And she uncomfortably recited the punchline of a joke because she didn't want to say it. But that's besides the point. The whole thing only happened in the first place because Lila Gibney forced her to do that and put her in that uncomfortable situation. God, she's evil. But it's not just making fun of it. Christian tells a story that's very upsetting to hear.
This straight friend of mine was consistently throughout the entire experience blacked out, passed out in this Uber. And the entire time, Lila was touching all over him, filming it for her story, getting all up in his posting it on her private story and all of her friends. This was a straight man who is belligerently passed out drunk. This should never be happening. You should not be a people.
Yeah, and that, by the way, that was in an Uber Black. She is cartoonishly evil in the way that it's okay, how can you be evil? It's she saw a checklist for that and just was marking everything off. Everybody has so many consistent stories and it's all this straight dude passed out, blacked out drunk. You awful piece of, oh my God. There's not a single person on the internet who's seeing this should ever be able to back her up, because even if you did, guess what? She doesn't care. It's all about her. She does not think that anybody else who exists matters. She doesn't even think that their existence is real, clearly based on the way she treats everybody constantly. Ava has a similar story too. Check this out.
Also, while we were in Miami, she brought us up to this random guy's hotel room and there was 4 men and they tried giving us all GHB to SA us. She also likes to flash people her you know what, her.
She describes another one that also happened in the back of an Uber that it's graphic enough that I don't even want to show it, but continues on with the same things. Back of an Uber, she's forcing Ava to do something to somebody that she doesn't. But that specific one that I don't even want to show, it's when Ava said this.
I obviously did not do it and I was horrified and disgusted and I just got out of the car and I literally left Lila at the guy's house and just left because I was mortified and I felt so incredibly violated by that.
Christian has another story where she was talking about how she wanted to do that to Cameron Dallas. Christian has one more story that I want to highlight before I move on to her response though, because it's just another example of purely personal evilness.
So I reached out to her and confided in her and told her that I think I might be trans and asked her how she knew. I was basically, how did you know that you were trans? Like, I am confused with my own gender identity, and I'm not really sure if it's just the drugs or if I'm actually in that space.
So Christian has this friend that he's going around partying with all the time, getting into that culture. It's like crazy, crazy, crazy. And then there's a moment of genuine vulnerability where he's like, okay, yeah, but we know each other, but I actually really need some actual insight. This is something that you've experienced, something that very clearly you have a perspective on, and you can help guide me through this emotional turmoil that I'm in right now. Drops all of that on her. It's a moment where it could be such a connection, and that friendship can go from, oh, we're party friends, to like, we actually have each other's support and we're here for each other. That's exactly what Lila did, right? Well,
she left me on red 4 days, literally never answered, which I felt so hurt by. I heard from other people in LA that I had asked her that question, which I had only confided in her at that point.
Could not be a worse reaction. Honestly, everything that she has done at every single moment throughout this entire thing. And I feel bad for like saying Cole shouldn't have like made fun of her, because I understand why he was like trying to be mean about the peeing thing at this point. Like, honestly, it's so bad that I understand why you would want to take a couple shots. I think personally, as it relates to like the transitioning and bottom surgery, I think that's a little bit touchier than people have been talking about it. But I do want to say, I understand why every single one of these people has so much hatred in their hearts for her, because how could you not hate somebody who has treated you all like that? That is so messed up. And she is so foul for that. How could she possibly respond after all of this has been exposed? It's a lot. I'm going to try to read the whole thing through, but I might just have to stop and talk throughout it. And keep in mind, once we're through with this, I want to show you the even more that has happened before all this, because it's not just this situation. The lore goes even deeper. She said, anyone who's listening to these horrible, nasty liars of disgusting liars or demonic humans have said nothing but dragged out lies. Oh yeah, she's not sober when she's writing this. Liars of disgusting liars dragged out lies. Yeah, it's very smart that you sent this entire message right now and didn't wait till you had a clear mind. They're demonic humans. Well, did you hear how you are in those stories and they're all lining up and they're all true? Not to use anyone's name, but y'all keep saying, God, I can't wait for Tana to speak on how demonic Lila is. Do you guys not remember him living with Tana and her having to kick him to the curb, and he has to move back to Texas because he is such a horrible, incompassionate human being? Do you guys not remember when Jake Paul had to kick Cole out in the middle of the night when he lived at the Team 10 house? Cole came into my apartment and told me, oh my God, I miss when I had these Fendi glasses. Can I send you $300 to just pay for every single Uber Black this weekend? Even all my friends who we went out with were like, why was Cole saying that me or Lila should pay for the Uber when he's just sitting on his phone, editing phone, complaining? Sitting on his phone, editing phone, complaining. Lila, you've really got him now. By the way, I do not have to believe that Cole is a great, moral, upstanding citizen to think that you are a bad person. I already know that Cole left his grandpa who's in hospice to go see Tate McRae for a second time. I don't think that. Also, you're talking about him back when he was an addict and he's sober now, and you were like extremely horrible to him during that moment. Also, there are 3 other people who are telling even worse stories, but okay. He asked to wear my $1,400 Dior high top Converse to the Tate McRae concert, and then when he left my house in the middle of the night, he stole them, didn't text me thank you for staying in my place, and blocked me. I have screenshots from over 100 people. Reliable, beautiful, reliable souls that have said when they've been around Cole, it was the most demonic, dark energy they've ever been around. And fun fact, when I got my breast augmentation in 2020, he fully surprised me days later when he found out, and I had painkillers for my surgery, and 10 plus went missing. But I didn't care because I loved him, and I wasn't even taking them. Hey, just want to let you know, he was open about how he was an addict and how he's in sobriety right now and he's recovering. Just letting you know. Yeah, this guy who was an addict, back when he was an addict, he was an addict. And I have screenshots from over 100 reliable, beautiful souls. I got a feeling that that is not true. Also, so shitty to just start outing him for like things as he's going through sobriety. Cool. These people who've gotten kicked out of content houses, their own family homes, lied about hooking up with major celebrities, and so much more, like you and every fan or bored human sitting behind their computers with no job, no morals, in the middle of the country, world, bored as fuck with their own miserable lives, don't know a fact that they are saying. Yeah, people who are in the middle of the country don't know anything that they're talking about. If you're not in LA or New York, who are you? I'm from Kansas City, and I am a fan of Patrick Mahomes and the Super Bowl champion Chiefs. Don't ever talk about flyover cities. Flyover cities. Well, go to Kansas City and get some barbecue, fucker. Everybody in the entire world is lame, and they're lying about me, a beautiful soul. They're all lying because they have nothing better to do. Okay, why are they choosing to do it about about you, and they all have stories that exactly match up. And the stories that we're about to get into that she's also referencing from fans who don't have anything to offer to the world. She didn't say that, but that's what she's acting like. We're gonna get into those. She's saying that all of this shit is because they're bored with their miserable lives. Girl, your life is miserable. You live a hollow husking life. You have nobody and no genuine connections, because at any point that somebody has reached out and tried to form a genuine connection and deepen the friendship with you, you have turned around and spat in their face and made fun of them to everybody around you. You deserve the husk of a life that you live in right now. You are a disgusting and debilitatingly horrible human being. Don't ever talk about Kansas City again. Okay, sorry. Don't ever talk about Kansas City again. I'm having fun being excited, but that's a little bit too much energy. I'm honestly sorry. Oh my God, it just pissed me off when people talk about that. Kansas is fun. Well, Kansas City is. The three people who don't have one sense genuine human in their life at all. I can't deal with this anymore. I can prove every goddamn thing. Genuinely goodbye. Y'all will not be hearing one goddamn thing from me for a long time. Logging off. Yeah, because you got canceled. What are you talking about? You're not gonna be hearing from me for a while. Yeah, because you just got canceled. Nobody wants to. Nobody cares about you. And by the way, the only people who do care about you are the people who think that an Instagram story is gonna give their business a boost. It's not gonna, by the way. Like, open your eyes and stop believing every fucking thing you bored people are hearing and jumping on the hate train for a goddamn fire. What are you talking about, by the way? Somehow a worse apology than the toxic gossip train.
Toxic gossip train.
Unhinged, definitely on something. Acting like every other single possible person in the world is jumping on a hate train because you're a genuine human and you're a beautiful soul. I'm just such a genuine, beautiful soul that everybody else in their miserable lives can't take it, so they have to tear me down. If you genuinely think that, check yourself into a clinic where they can help you. You need help if that's your worldview, because that's not what life is about. Enjoy life, enjoy connection, enjoy community. Not what you're doing right now. So awful, so evil. Now, okay, this has been a long video. I'm very aware of that. I really appreciate you guys watching, but there is even more to get into. And I don't want to make somebody post like 3 videos for one thing when it's like, really, just sit down, have lunch. Now, Lila had mentioned, oh, people are always talking about what's Tana gonna say, because her and Tana had like a friendship type vibe. We know Tana's been friends with some characters in the past, but this is what somebody had posted, and take it with a grain of salt, but it does match up with everything that we've read. So I have the real tea on Lila. This comes straight from Ashley. Lila was stealing little things from Tana for a while, like Chanel sunglasses, jewelry, purses, etc. Tana has been trying to distance herself from Lila for a while because Tana is in her healing era, sober and in a relationship. Lila is always high, puking up her food or on drugs, constantly causing drama. It was Lila who screenshotted the text of Tana talking about her ex and sent it to him. But that wasn't the final nail in the coffin. Lila did get high on Tana's jet, but lied to everyone it wasn't her. Lied to Tana's face, swore up and down she did nothing, and the air marshal was just being transphobic. Tana believed her, freaked out, wrote the number of her lawyer on Lila's arm, bought Wi-Fi on the plane just to contact her lawyer for Lila, and wired Lila $20,000 for legal fees and bail. Tana fought with the FBI. It sounds like fan fiction, but we'll see in a second that there's like genuine corroboration for this. Tana fought with the FBI saying that they were being transphobic and put herself on the line for Lila. They enjoyed Hawaii for the rest of the time together because Lila was eventually let go by the FBI. As soon as they got home, Lila started bragging to everyone how she got away with it, how stupid Tana was for sending her money, and was making a mockery out of Tana in the entire incident. Lila also kept the money. It was Lila's lie that hurt Tana because Lila convinced Tana was just transphobic, and this really put Tana at risk. She stole $20K from Tana. What the story is, because this is a clip where Tana is on the canceled podcast and she's talking specifically about this actual situation, and the story of what happened was that Lila went into the bathroom on a private jet and smoked weed, and they found out about it and were like, in like serious trouble. Like they were very upset with Lila because that's illegal. You can't do that. Doing that, lying about it, saying that the person was just transphobic so that Tana would send $20,000 and then stealing it, pocketing it. It's just nonstop and everything is awful and it's just the worst influencer. Like it's not a drama. It's like constant crime along with like emotional destruction. This is really funny though in light of all this. It's very funny that she paid for her verification on Instagram and then lied to all of her friends to get them to like say congrats, I guess.
OMFG, OMFG. Like I didn't see her take her purse and pull out a debit card and go click on Meta verified purchase.
You're kidding.
I watched her type in the numbers. No. I had to put a flashlight on my phone to help her take a picture of her ID, front and back.
To get Meta verified.
To get Meta verified. And then 5 minutes later.
So we can all congratulate her
fucking
on being verified.
And she
so superficial, like so superficial, so paper thin. Everything about her existence is like nothing.
Wanted to tell her I just love her new album and she's such a slay. And I really do want to know. It's like I could see her maybe having seen a godforsaken horror podcast, and then all of a sudden I see in the corner of my eye none other than our sweet girl.
Talk about cloud chasing. Talk about she's name dropping people all the time. Look at what she posted on TikTok right here. Look at this. Me ignoring the fact that this was literally Olivia Rodrigo. Her hand over her shoulder, holding her right there. Olivia like, ha 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 ha, and then like, okay, cool. As if she doesn't know that that's Olivia Rodrigo. There's also a clip of Tana talking about that exact situation, and it's feels so bad for Olivia.
None other than our sweet girl, Lila Gibney. Just assaulting Olivia Rodrigo.
She literally just went right up to her, started making a TikTok without even asking her. She
I hate to hear that so much.
It was Olivia sound. Lila didn't even know the words.
It's honestly, it's funny though, because if you watch the TikTok,
it was sweet to her.
It's just one more thing of her viewing everybody else around her as fuel for her own ego and her own like possible. Like, what do you think is gonna happen when you post a TikTok of you and Olivia Rodrigo? It's cool, sure, but if you're making her uncomfortable and you're running up on her and doing that, you as a human, your soul is ash, your soul is dust, and you're gonna be lost into the generations. Your existence will be remembered as a skid mark. I mean, you're gonna get a good TikTok though, for sure. But when you view everybody else around you in the entire world as just like something that you can get, something that you can use, something you can manipulate to get something you want out of, your life turns into the hollow husk that it is. Not only that, there are so many stories of fans talking about how they have been scammed by her. Look at this comment. Everything she's talking about, stealing money, I'm not surprised. I purchased some clothes from her Instagram and she never sent the items and blocked me when I asked her about it. Don't buy from her Insta story. Unfortunately, it's a scam. Sucks because I really loved her. She stole money from me too. I sent $90 for some clothes she was selling on her story and she never sent the clothes and blocked me. She's scamming so many people. Somebody like posted a TikTok about her and this was her response. She posted this.
Whoever made a viral TikTok about me and tell him to delete his fuck ass TikTok because thousands are telling me to kill myself.
The viral TikTok in question was this person who posted about how she scammed him. He DM'd her, "Hi queen, I'm a bit bootlegger and poor, but I just released a song and I would love to do a promo if I can afford it. Also been so obsessed with your blonde." He said, "I can post a Snapchat that's 20 seconds long of me by the pool listening to your song with the tag and swipe up. $100. He said, "I only have 85 in my account right now. I understand if 100 is your minimum." She said, "I do 80. I only have 85. I do 80. I'd leave you with $5. I'm so sweet." She sent her Cash App. He said, "Okay, sent it, BB. Been keeping up with the transition diaries. When's the new episode coming?" She said, "What's the song? Send link." He sent the link. Nothing. She didn't post it. He said, "Sorry, I know you're busy as fuck." And then later, "Hi, I'm sorry to bother you. Do you know when you plan to do the story promo?" The conversation started, by the way, November 1st. It's now November 5th, and he said, "I really hope you don't hate me and have decided to not post it." She said, "Oh my God, I'm so sorry, baby. I will literally post it tonight or tomorrow. I knew I was forgetting somebody is." She said, "Yes, he hearted it." Now, it is November 10th, 10 days since he sent the first message, and he said, "Lila, this is the last time I'll message you, baby. I'm sorry. At this point, can you just send me back my $80? I'd rather just pay my phone bill." Oh my God, I feel so bad for him. This is a person who's genuinely struggling, actually hustling, trying to make something of their name, spending 80 of their final $85 just for a fucking shot at anything happening. A gamble, a risk. And now he needs to pay his phone bill, and she still isn't doing it. And then he said 2 days after that, after no response, "Do you need more money?" And she said, yes. Yes. Actually evil. He said, "Lol, it's just really confusing why you told me $80 was fine and then never posted and would read the messages and not respond. And now you're saying more money. It's really sad to me because I was a fan and I always liked and commented on YouTube and all I wanted was for an artist I like to post my work. It's whatever if you don't post it, even though that was the agreement. I can't afford to give you more." Now, November 22nd, almost a full month after the first message when he paid her, he said, "Just to be clear, you stole my money." She said, "Wait, what?" He said, "I paid you $80, which was all my money on dead ass November 2nd. You've read every message of me asking about you posting the promo and you read them and ghosted, but have posted others. Can I just get my money back? I'm just confused on why, considering I have been straight up supporting you for months. Think back to when you had nothing and gave every cent you had to make it somewhat closer." And her response was what?
Dean something, whoever made a viral TikTok about me and tell him to delete his fuck ass TikTok because thousands are telling me to kill myself.
Tell him to delete his fuck ass TikTok because thousands of people are telling.
You are so vile, so horrible, so rude. I'm gonna say it. You are a jerk. All of that. And guess what else? Guess what I've saved for the end? This is a huge moment. This person, Lila Gibney, is the one who posted the vlog of Alex Warren and Cover's wedding. That was like a huge thing that blew up, where she leaked their wedding when they had been explicitly clear about no phones, no filming, no recording, no posting. Because they came from like the influencer world. By the way, Alex Warren, what the hell is going on with him? His music is actually like, for worship music, pretty sick. It's like the type of stuff that Benson Boone should probably be doing. But he's like, I mean, it's like kind of like shockingly good for somebody who came up doing the David Dobrik impression. Remember, that's Alex Warren. Anyways, this is the thing that she posted, by the way. Like, zooming in on the wedding, they were so explicitly clear that they don't want anybody filming or anybody recording, because obviously they're like an influencer couple and they don't want their influencer friends to be doing that because they want to have a genuine wedding. Like, the policy literally says, we invite you to be fully present with us at our ceremony. Kindly turn off all cell phones and cameras. Those were posted up everywhere. There was actually a TikTok that this creator Maddie had posted where they're basically talking about the situation and how crazy it is that like Lila Gibney was the first person to post Alex and Cover's wedding. Lila Gibney, the person we just read everything about, the fact that everybody hates her in LA, and she posted it before they ever had the opportunity to, when they were explicitly clear about that. By the way, fun lore, I was actually gonna be like, I was invited to be in a TikTok like content house with Maddie and like Scott Kress and a couple other people. It was a crazy thing. That did not end up happening because it just would have been horrible and genuinely ruined my entire life. But it's so funny to see them right now. By the way, on that video that Maddie made, Alex and Cover both responded to it. Alex said, this is a very valid take. And Cover said, period. And that person who I was like tangentially aware of that drama, the fact that is Lila Gibney, her only existence on the internet is just making everything about her and not thinking that anybody else matters in the entire world. She is the final boss of all main character influencers, to the point that it's like, haha, but also like evil. And if anything, I think that this whole like deep dive into Lila kind of monster, the takeaway is, if there's any friend who is even like an ounce, even a scrape of how awful Lila is, just get them out of your life. It is not worth it. We got 4 separate people telling detailed story times with a response to them by Lila that it's just awful. All of their story times describing how terrible she is consistently in the same ways throughout her entire career of knowing anybody, scamming so many people. Like her scamming people off the Insta stories, I didn't spend too much time on it. There's a lot. Like, it's constant scamming, constant using people, ransoming people's own belongings that she's stolen, probably doesn't remember because she's fucked up, demanding to be let into parties and then making scenes that embarrass everybody else, assaulting, weaponizing situations, manipulating everybody around her, gaslighting everyone around her. It's so dark, it's so constant, it's so who she is. And the pattern becomes very clear. She is targeting and manipulating people who she thinks that she can manipulate and control, which is generally people who are in a lower position status where they have to accept that because they feel some sort of insecurity within themselves. And when somebody opens up to them about that, she uses that against them. And up until now, to this point, she has faced 0 consequences for it. So this huge cancellation level event is so valid and so worthwhile because what she is doing is like, it's just beyond. I haven't seen anything like this. For real. Well, I guess if I had to sum this entire situation up into one word, I would say, I love you so much. Please subscribe to this channel and subscribe to the Coop channel.
I feel like I went a little bit hard on Tate McRae. I like some of the Tate McRae songs, like bump it up, cut the rubbish, or we could just be comfortable. Don't have to dump it up, like that is cool. I do like that, and I like the I wanna feel. I think it's cool, but for me, it's like I don't know. It's just like I don't know. Maybe I don't know. It's just like there's some pretty cool songs. I don't know. It just feels like not worth leaving your dying grandpa to see her for a second time. Do you know what I mean? It's like, you could see her on her next tour. You can't see your grandpa dying in hospice a second time. That's me, that's my personal opinion, and that's how I would act.